set the tone for all to remember. You rewrite history, the greatest pretenders. You rewrite history, the greatest pretenders.
Are you ready to be entertained? Let's get into another reaction of Batman Caped Crusader. This is season 1, episode 2. I was actually completely shocked how much I loved the first episode, and I'm so happy you guys are going to join me on the journey of Batman, the Caped Crusader. Let's get into this one. By the way, one more side note. I actually liked Penguin being a female. I loved the characters. So now we're gonna get into maybe another villain in this episode, and I'm very interested to see how they're going to twist these villains that we learned to love from Batman and make it their own. You wanna see this in a full reaction? The links are down below, and while you're down there, please hit the like button, share, and don't forget to comment. Now, without further ado, let's jump into Batman Caped Crusader and find out exactly what this show has got to give. Yvonne? Who the hell's Yvonne? 4235.
We're here to talk about a missing woman, not a speeding ticket.
Yes, and I'm trying to be helpful. I thought a donation to the department might ensure my involvement here was kept private.
It's Detective Montoya, Mr. Wayne. And not everything is for sale in this city. I just want to find Yvonne Francis. You were the last person to see her. That's the only reason you're here. Your butler says you dropped Miss Francis off at 11?
10:52.
Most people can't do that. Remember an exact time like that? Mr. Wayne is assisting in a missing persons case, Mr. Fox.
Not anymore, he isn't. Dragged him down here instead of interviewing him at his estate.
I wasn't aware having an estate got you preferential treatment.
Detective Montoya's police work is sharp. She got angry when I offered her a bribe. He's honest, intelligent, and incorruptible. She could be an asset.
Before the attorney got here. But the butler alibis him, and honestly, I don't see Wayne as a suspect. Not a sign of Francis, not a word. Nothing for 2 days now.
So what's your next move?
I'm going to the movies. Detective Montoya, I'm wondering if you could answer a few questions about Yvonne Francis, Mr. Carlo. How old do you know her?
Well enough, I suppose. We've been in half a dozen features together. We all have our parts to play. This new film would have been the first time I'd seen her in months. That she was running with the wrong crowd. That she was becoming, well, trouble. Afraid I have a meeting with Edmund Haynes. He's my director on the new film.
And this one was last Tuesday. There's Miss Francis. The dress is an Edith Head.
You said this was Tuesday?
That's right.
I haven't seen her in months, huh?
Mr. Haynes doesn't have anything scheduled with Mr. Carlo today.
Mr. Carlo left about an hour ago.
I need his home address. Central Dispatch, I need a radio car and an ambulance. 2462 Slate
Who's that? What villain is this? What? I don't know who that is.
Where?
Relax, Miss Francis.
What is this? What are you doing?
Try to stay calm.
Come back here! Help! Oh, someone help me!
I screwed up. I was so sure Carlo was a suspect.
Wow.
Turns out he was a victim. Big risk, making me a detective. I've let you down.
Not yet, yeah.
Oh, I offered him double or nothing. Detective Montoya, good morning.
Mr. District Attorney. Well, it's now part of the Basil Carlo murder investigation, so at the moment I'd say not very well.
Give me an arrest, and I can put on a hell of a trial. Make us both look good.
Mr. Dent, I genuinely don't think I could care less about your mayoral campaign.
After Election Day, you'll want to be on my good side, Renee.
What I'm looking at right now, Sydney, I'm looking at thousands of dollars with a mad scientist. Be another screamer to replace the Francis girl, and you're gonna do it today! Supposed to start that as of now stars a missing girl and a dead guy.
What?
What? What do you want?
Lovely to look at. Miss Francis is no Gloria Swanson. Anything useful?
Some sort of silicate. peculiar.
A monogram, perhaps?
An abbreviation. Monoscope Pictures wardrobe. Killer has access to the studio.
Harlow was one of the finest actors it has been my privilege to work with, Detective.
Did others share your opinion?
Everyone who worked with Basil knew how good he was. He didn't have the right look. He didn't have the right face. Yvonne's lovely, but, well, let's just say she's not my type.
He had it bad for her.
All night long, lovey.
Don't get me wrong, she had enormous respect for Basil. She felt he'd been cheated.
Talent. You should be a leading man, Basil. If only...
If only I didn't look like this.
Also made him desperate to do something about his looks.
Camera is kind to some, cruel to others. She's undoubtedly what drove him to that lunatic conman Jack Ellman. Was a makeup artist at the studio. Worked with Basil a few times.
I just need some time and some more money.
Anything, Jack. I need a miracle. Give me my money back or give me results.
You're as stupid as you are ugly.
That's it, Ellman! You're fired!
And when was this?
Must have been 2 months back.
Ellman.
No! 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 Away from the camera! You're an actor! Your job is to act the way I direct! Me, the director!
Run.
Oh. Ooh.
Give me 2 minutes, then call the police. Monoscope Pictures beneath Stage H. Lou Valentine and the movie star Daryl Manning. I'd say they've been dead at least a day. Montoya just interviewed Manning an hour ago.
This is Flash.
We're on the way.
Dispatch confirmed. Back up en route.
You Jack Ellman?
Yes. Yes, that's me.
I've got some questions for you about Basil Carlo. Mr. Carlo was murdered last night.
I had no idea. Please, we can talk inside.
Uh-oh. Basil Carlo.
This isn't Carlo.
It's a bit of a mess. I don't get many visitors.
And is it Clayface?
Sadly, Mr. Carlo wanted a miracle. How did you find me?
I'm a detective, Mr. Ellman. It's what I do. Hard or easy?
Oh!
Carlo?
Very good, Detective. It is I.
What did you do to your face?
Do you want the whole tale, Detective? Ellman promised he could fix it. But he gave me a miracle instead. They said I could have played 1,000 parts if not for my face. That now things would be different. That I could finally be the star she'd seen in me. I'm yours, darling. If you'll have me.
Get away from me!
But she rejected me.
Clayface.
She refused to play her part. I can be anyone, fool everyone, including you. No clue the Basil Carlo you found with a knife in his back was Jack Ellman.
Everything you've done, it's all about revenge?
At first, and I am growing into the role.
Meaning you've got a taste for murder.
One man in his time plays many parts, the bard said. But after a lifetime of playing the heavy, the thug, the brute, I have realized it was perfect casting all along.
Oh, for the love of Pete.
What?
I don't believe you.
Killed?
I don't believe your performance. You're chewing on scenery, relying on makeup effects.
I'll show you real!
Not to be a prima donna, but faster would be good. I really don't want to die here.
What?
I don't want to shoot you, but I absolutely will.
Police! Everyone freeze!
Oh, now you show up?
You saw that?
oh boy, did I see that.
Did the bat just solve the case for you, girl?
No, you just let the bat escape.
Oh, me, Miss Francis.
Thank you, but I've had enough horror in the past few days.
Listening.
We're not done, you and me.
Well. So, I know Clayface, but I don't know Clayface's origin story at all. This is the first time of me even hearing a Basil Carlo. But obviously when I looked it up, because I wanted to know like what was his real name, and it actually is Basil Carlo. So it's like the show obviously keeps the same characters but kind of changes its origin just a little bit, or tweaks it and makes it look much different. Because Clayface I knew was literally a ball of clay, and it would shoot out clay, could change his body. It's like weapons and stuff like that. He was more of like a monster type compared to this version. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I really did like this version of Clayface. It seems more realistic too, for me. Somebody who's obsessed with another person, and because they're not attractive, they try to do something to alter their features, which is what Botox and liposuction and all that surgery that people actually do currently. They did it, but it ended up being a little F up and making him into Clayface, and him being able to change all of who he is, right? And to fit into whatever. I really did enjoy it. It was also like a mystery and trying to solve like what's going on here. And if you weren't really familiar with Clayface as a character, because I don't think Clayface also is like a supervillain. I feel like it's a villain of Batman's, but it's not really a known villain. I think Clayface was in the obviously Clayface was in an animated 90s TV show, because that's how I know Clayface. Clayface has never been adapted, I don't believe, in live action. And I also don't think I've seen Clayface. I've seen Clayface in the comics, I believe. So that's probably where I know him from. Regardless, I really did enjoy this episode, and seeing new characters like Yvonne, is that how you say her name? I loved her. I feel like we're having a lot of like, we're having a lot of like the Commissioner Gordon. I feel like it's doing a back press or whatever the hell the word I'm trying to look for, and we're having all these other cops that are taking Gordon's place in this show, if you guys know what I mean. I just started stuttering and messing up my words. But I feel like Gordon always partnered up with Batman and figured out what's going on and did the arrest. And Gordon was the police side, Batman was the vigilante. But in here, this is Yvonne in this one. And what was the first episode wasn't Yvonne, I don't believe. It was another cop. But I could be wrong. Anyways, we got another glimpse on Two-Faced, Harvey Dent, and he is a jerk. But Harvey Dent in live action was like a stand-up guy, and that's what made Harvey Dent turn to be a heel even more sadder. So over here, we're already focused on him being a villain because he's horrible. But I would give this episode either an 8 or 9. That's how much I enjoyed it. I hope you guys did enjoy it too. Feel free to comment down below about what you guys feel about this episode. But Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, until next time, I'm off this.